You're welcome back. It's time for business. And
you're laughing because we have a lot to talk about the middle issue in business.
Exactly, yes.
Yes,
so what more?
You have been talking about, I mean,
what the US been dominating the headlines.
Exactly, but we want to look at beyond that statement they've given to us. What are they going to do after that? And they're actually giving us some response in there. So we'll be taking a look at that in business.
Take it away.
Hello, good evening. My name is Sandra Esinam Afeno. Let's do business now. The U.S. government has indicated it will be in a better position to respond to the controversies around the ECG PDS concessionaire agreement after an independent investigation report. This was captured in an email sent to Joy Business on current developments at ECG. The following business desk report has more on the Challenge Corporation's response.
The U.S. government, in the email responding to a set of questions sent by Joy Business on the ECG PDS issue, also advised the other stakeholders to support this investigation and wait for its outcome before they act. Based on the email, the Board of Directors of the Millennium Development Authority, MIDA, are set to hire an independent investigator to conduct a forensic audit of the claimed material breaches to fully establish the facts on the matter. The U.S., which is supporting the country's energy sector through the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, argued that it wanted to base its decision on fully established facts. The U.S. government argued that it's interested in a transparent, well-run transaction that meets international standards. Analysts have argued that this is an indication that if the outcome of this investigation falls below the standard, the government could take a decision that might not favor Ghana. It is also asking all the partners, that's MIDA, PDS and Government of Ghana, to work together in implementing bold solutions for the energy sector in partnership with the MCC Compact. On the way forward for the power sector, the Millennium Challenge Corporation argued that private sector participation is essential to restoring the financial health of Ghana's energy sector, giving an indication that it would not back down on its proposal to have full private participation in the power sector. It also reminded Ghanaians in the mail that concession does not shift the ownership of the ECG distribution to PDS or any other entity, insisting that it's still the property of the government of Ghana and that under the deal, Ghanaian investors will hold a minimum of 51% of ownership interest in PDS.
In other news tonight, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has commissioned a fertilizer factory in the eastern region as part of the One District, One Factory policy, which is to see the establishment of about 216 factories across the country with the capacity to meet Ghana's fertilizer demand of 600,000 metric tons. Dr. Bawumia says the move will also complement the Planting for Food and Jobs program. There's more in the following report.
The new fertilizer company has a production capacity of 800,000 metric tons a year. It is expected to cater for the country's fertilizer demand of 600,000 metric tons per year. Commissioning what is said to be Ghana's largest fertilizer company, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia charged the Agric Ministry and Cocoa Board to outsource fertilizer for local producers.
This factory can meet all of Ghana's demands for fertilizer. This factory can meet all of Ghana's demand for fertilizer. And so today I want to challenge the Ministry of Food and Agriculture and the Cocoa Board that with the coming on stream of GloFed, we know that the fertilizer blending plants in Ghana can meet our total demand.
GloFed Fertilizer Factory at Suhum in Sawam in the eastern region is part of the 1D1F program. Deputy Trade Minister Kalinti, however, emphasized that despite the slow completion of factories under the One District One Factory policy, all 260 factories will be completed by 2020.
We often talk a lot about the One District One Factory, the importance of industrial transformation, the importance of job creation, the importance of inclusion. But it is days like this that make it a reality, that we will, I repeat, we will deliver our Excellency's commitment of One District, One Factory by 2020.
$5 million GloFed Fertilizer Factory has the capacity of producing 800,000 metric tons of fertilizer on an annual basis. But what happens to the excess of 200,000 metric tons? Reverend Benson is Chief Executive of the company.
We are very excited to say that already we have contact from Burkina, from Mali, to produce and to blend for them specific needs. They are bringing their formulas, and we are negotiating. I've been to Burkina Faso a few times, and it's exciting already.
One factory policy is aimed at making Ghana an industrialized economy. With a country that spends billions of dollars importing raw materials, this initiative is aimed at not just reversing the trend, but also creating jobs across the country. For Joy Business, Charles Aite reporting.
Employment and Labour Relations Minister Ignatius Bafwewa has announced the transfer of 1.3 billion Ghana cedis of Tier 2 contribution, which was being held in a temporary pensions fund account at the Bank of Ghana. The minister announced this when he met a session of the media in Accra.
According to the minister, has been moved into the custodian accounts of 6 public sectors registered with pension schemes. The schemes to receive the funds include the Ghana Education Service Occupational Pension Scheme, Health Sector Occupational Pension Scheme, Judicial Service Occupational Pension Scheme, Hedge Master Trust Occupational Pension Scheme, and Public Sector Workers Employers Pension Scheme. Addressing the media at the Meet the Press series, Employment Minister Ignatius Bafwewa assured that no pension fund has been affected despite the ongoing financial crisis in the banking sector.
Let me take this opportunity to also announce to all that when the banking shake-up took place, I overheard so many people saying that pension funds are endangered. I want to use this opportunity to announce to all that no pension fund in the country has been affected by any of this banking restructuring that has taken place. All pension funds in the country are safe and they are being managed very well.
The minister also mentioned that it will soon tailor the pension scheme to meet the demands of workers outside the formal sector payroll.
For instance, if you want to develop a pension scheme for cocoa farmers, they do 2 main harvesting within the year, the main harvest and then the light crop season. So if you go out there with a pension that allows for monthly payment, how will they get money to be able to pay during the off-season? So we are looking at what specifically a particular industry does and then be able to tailor a specific product to meet their taste.
In other news tonight, inquiries made by financial institutions with a credit reference witnessed some significant increase over the last year. The searches done by these institutions from January to December 2018 is now 2.6 million. But what has influenced this growth despite concerns of non-cooperation by some banks? We have the details in this Business Desk report.
Based on these inquiries, individuals accounted for about 95% of the searches, with corporate institutions accounting for the rest. Most of these institutions wanted to establish the creditworthiness of the individual's ability to recover their loans and status of persons that have guaranteed a loan. Majority of the searches were done by non-bank financial institutions rather than the traditional commercial banks, despite the fact they still have issues with the rise in non-performing loans. A review of the total inquiries conducted by the universal banks indicated that 52% was done on the database of Credit Reference Bureau from XDS data, whilst 48% was conducted on the database of Dun and Bradstreet credit bureaus. Despite the pickup in searches, usage by all financial institutions was still seen as low. The data from the Bank of Ghana showed that not all microfinance institutions and rural banks have actually subscribed to the Credit Reference Bureau by submitting the required data on their clients. There was also an issue with the quality of data submitted. From the report, the 3 Credit Reference Bureaus had a total credit information on 6.8 million persons ending December 2018. This is made up of 6,530,674 individuals' credit records and 363,352 corporate credit information. The Credit Reference Bureau has complained about how some of the banks are not cooperating, especially when full compliance can help reduce the cost of credit in the country.
That's all for business for now with me, Sandra Esena Afeno. I'll be back after 8 p.m. where I will tell you what to expect on tonight's edition of PM Express with Phil.